Okay, everybody, Awesome50 here, and as you all know, I think I kind of mentioned I was going to be playing the game Amnesia Rebirth. Okay, so I just finished the game today, and this is just my little bit of a review on the game. I thought it was okay. Okay, it wasn't as good as I thought it would be. I mean, the game's okay. It's one of those games, if you've got absolutely nothing better to play and you just need to kill some time and play something, this game would be very good for that, but aside from that, I wouldn't really put it up there as being a 10 out of 10. I'd say it's like a 5 out of 10 because it does give you that Amnesia feeling, but it doesn't quite live up to Amnesia Dark Descent. So, Amnesia Rebirth was created, I believe, in 2020, and Amnesia Dark Descent was created, I believe it was 2012, but it could have been earlier. Oh, sorry, no, Amnesia Dark Descent. I think it was 2010, and they brought out Pig Machine, which was, I think, 2012 or 2013. Anyway, them games were good because them games were good for their time. Okay, the generation switch as well. That's like 2 generations ago for Amnesia Dark Descent. So that is a good game for them. But this game, it doesn't quite live up to that standard. They've done pretty much the exact same thing, but I feel as though the writing of the game's extraordinarily sloppy, and I feel as though they've had plenty of time to build a better script for a game being 10 years from Pig Machine. Well, not 10 years from Amnesia Dark Descent. They've had 10 years to knock up a good script, and they haven't. The game isn't that good. Uh, the storyline makes absolutely zero sense. You have to go around. I know you have to do this in the other games, including for Soma, but the storyline's just overall not that good, and it doesn't make any real sense. What the? I'm gonna swear then. I don't think I'm allowed to swear on YouTube. Not this early into this video, anyway. So anyway, basically what I'm trying to say is these are going to be some spoilers here. So the storyline doesn't even make any sense whatsoever. You don't even know where this game's even going. It just doesn't. And then you collect notes, and then you collect these cylinders, which give you a backstory of like people talking, and you get a bit of backstory and some lore. But nothing's made sense. Nothing in the game makes any sense whatsoever. For example, you start the game. You're in an aeroplane. Okay, the aeroplane crashes. You survive. Right? That's cool, whatever. Doesn't explain what you were doing in that aeroplane. Doesn't make any sense. You don't know why you were there, or even if you do eventually find out why you're there, I didn't find it, so you shouldn't have to find the clues to know what the hell you're doing in the game. You know, there should be a backstory, a middle story, and an end story, not some big ambiguous game where you don't actually know what the hell is going on. So you're in an aeroplane, the aeroplane crashes, you move in this woman, and she doesn't know she's pregnant. Well, not to my knowledge at that time in the game. And then she survives. Everybody else in the airplane's vanished. Okay, so not to mention, if an airplane crashes, you're all gonna die. There isn't gonna be any survivors. Okay, not when you crash in a desert. Okay, so anyway, you wake up. There's nobody there, right? And then you crawl out, you text on Laudanum, and then you're okay. You start walking around, and then you're like, where the hell am I? And then you start finding people which are dead. And then you start finding monsters later on, like zombie looking people, which I believe are called the Harvest, or Harvested, or something. So anyway, your player also has this bracelet which she pulls off, and it turns out to be a portal compass. Now, how the hell does that make any sense? So she had the bracelet on her all along, and then all of a sudden she finds out the is a compass to find portals, and these portals just take you anywhere. So you don't know why you're there for one, okay? And then your woman finds out she's pregnant, and then she keeps progressing through the game, and she gets more pregnant through the months to the point where she's ready to give birth. And then you start teleporting to different places in this map. One minute you're in a laboratory, the next minute you're in some kind of weird steampunk area, and then the next minute you're back in the desert. Then eventually you find the village, and it's like it's such a mess. You can't. There's no way to find out what the hell is going on. So you're just playing a game, thinking, "Well, I'm sure I'm gonna find some storyline, or find something out as I go." You find lore and you find backstory things, but not relating to your character. So again, you don't know why the hell you're there. What were you even doing there? And then it turns out that there's backstory that you've had a baby before and all this, and something terrible happened in your character's past life, but that does not explain what you're doing in the game. It doesn't even tie in anywhere, you know. And then all of a sudden you have flashbacks, this, and this. Okay, that is telling me my character's backstory. Okay, but again, not relevant to the game. There's no relevance to the game with these backstory things. Yeah, I've completed the game today after playing it for 2 weeks, and I still don't know what the fuck is going on. Okay, so eventually you travel around. Are you actually basically you're playing Crash? You just want to find out where the rest of the people are. That's it. Some of the people got turned into these zombie-looking creatures, and I presume nobody stayed alive. And then you're looking for people in this village, and then you're looking for a guy called the Doctor. He's the Doctor. I think he'd been running the show. So you find him, and you actually deliver your baby because as the game progresses, you keep getting more like months in your pregnancy keep coming up. So anyway, you eventually find the Doctor, and the Doctor you give birth to the Doctor. Then the Doctor thinks to save the people that were turned into zombies, he has to give your character's baby to this ghostly apparition called the Empress, and then he'll free everybody, and everyone will be all happy. Okay? So anyway, you get halfway through the game, or maybe 3/4 away, you find out that you're transforming into like a zombie, and your baby is transforming into a zombie, and then you have a choice whether to torture this individual to get these cylinders of, I think it's called Vitae or something, and then she uses that to cure your baby before pregnancy. But that doesn't make any sense either because, I mean, there's people being kidnapped, tortured, turned into these harvested, or kidnapped, tortured, and being turned into these vials of Vitae. It doesn't actually explain what the Vitae are, or if it did, I kind of missed it. It's probably in one of them cylinders or in a note telling you what it does. But again, you have to find that, which is a pain in the neck, because I still don't know what relevance that has. Then you sit in this chair, and then these like thingies come over, these lights. I don't know how to explain it. And then this ghostly apparition says, "Your baby is now cured," and all this crap. So then you leave this place for a portal. Then you're back in the desert. That's when you find the Mad Doctor, which I mentioned. And then you follow the Mad Doctor into this other steampunk area called the Tower. And then you end up in this throne room kind of thing. And then it turns out that the ghostly apparition is something called the Empress. This was never explained. I don't know what relevance this is. I don't get it. I don't get it. Oh, and while you're walking around these, you find like other ghostly apparitions which try to kill you. Again, doesn't make sense. So it turns out what the Empress really wanted you to do was she wanted you to cure the baby and leave the baby in the last steampunk area you just came from. But if she really wanted you to fucking do that, why didn't she just tell you to do that? It doesn't make sense. So she can talk. She just did it. She just thought most important part of her plot, her plan, was for you to keep the baby there, but she didn't ask you to keep the baby there. So anyway, you eventually meet her, the Empress, because that's what she somehow is called, and you never know who the Empress is until then. And then she says, "Oh yes, your baby. By the way, the infant inside of her was actually dying anyway, allegedly." So she says, "I want your baby so I can be the mother I've always been," says the Empress. And then you get to a point where you can either, now there's 3 endings, you can either leave the baby with the Empress, and the Empress soul, who's like a god, will look after the baby. You could take the baby and escape through the portal and then take your chances. Or option 3, you can take the baby and destroy the place. But if the Empress finds you doing the other 2 things, she forces you to make the baby stay anyway. My choice were, simply because of all the information I was given, obviously, if I had a child, I'd rather the child survived and had some chance in the world. So I left the baby with the Empress because I felt as though, well, the Empress is like a godly being. Maybe I made the wrong choice because I'm an idiot, but that is possible. Human error. I'm not a god. So I chose to do that, mainly because I also wanted to get through this game ASAP because it was starting to suck so bad. So I just wanted the quickest ending I humanly could with the least amount of effort. So yeah, that's the ending I chose. And then all of a sudden, your character, if you leave the baby there, which I did, turns into a harvest. Did, or whatever they're called. And because the Empress was stopping me from becoming a harvested all along. Now, when I told you people about this game so far, it's going to make absolutely zero sense. You know why it's going to make absolutely zero sense? Because it makes no sense to me either. Why bring out a crap game like this? It just doesn't make sense. You know, I did a review on Soma. That was a good game. And it was kind of deep. You know, it was kind of mad. It made your brain go. When you're playing the game Soma, you're like, oh, what the hell? When I was playing this game, it was just boring and just utterly rubbish. I give the game a 5 out of 10. That's been very nice. But I know they made Soma after Amnesia, Big Machine, and Descent. But, you know, they still, if you want to include having Soma in there, then you have to understand they've had 5 more years to make a decent game. Not just knock some rubbish together, then display it to us. Now, I do have the game Amnesia Bunker installed. I'm put off even wanting to play that now, but I probably will start playing it. But if I don't like this game, I'm not going to carry on playing it. I'm just going to quit. With Amnesia Rebirth, I thought there was some promise in it. I thought it was going to get good. I thought something was going to happen. But it doesn't, and the game's not even that scary. To be honest, it doesn't even have the same jump scares as Amnesia Dark Descent. With Amnesia Dark Descent, you had that feeling walking around like the rooms and stuff like that. You were terrified. You were like, oh no, something's going to get me. You were on edge, and the noises the players made, the heavy breathing your character made, and all that stuff, it made the game perfect. It made it out to be a place you really don't want to be. Plus, it's like set in a couple hundred years ago, so, you know, it gave you the creeps. This game, Amnesia Rebirth, it wasn't that scary because basically you were only ever chased by zombie looking, golem looking, golem Lord of the Rings, zombie looking things, and the spirit people, and that was it. There were no other real jump scare, and you spent a few levels which were just linear. You know, you had some puzzles in it, okay, but the puzzles weren't even that in depth, nor were they that challenging. I think I've managed to complete the game in just shy of 11 hours, give or take a couple. I hate to give these. Nah, who am I kidding? I don't really care. It's a bad review. The game was shocking. I mean, there's going to be people out there which are going to really disagree with me. Play the game yourselves. If you've actually managed to have the energy to complete the game, then write me a comment and tell me that I'm talking rubbish. But to the people which have never played the game, please take my word for it. Don't waste your time with this game. Play Soma. That's good, 2015. And then you can play this game, and you'll see I'm right halfway through the game. But because you've come that far, you'll want to complete the game then. I have Amnesia Bunker. I'm probably going to play it. It does look interesting because it's World War II themed or World War One themed. Or I'm well wrong, but I think that's the theme. Now that has to be interesting, doesn't it? At least I've got a plot already. Before I even play the game, I've got a plot. So for Amnesia Bunker, there's a war or something like that going on. I know what's going on. Amnesia Rebirth, what the fuck? An airplane crash and that's it. You just start walking and you expect the storyline to unfold since you've got nothing so far. The game was just trash. I've really wasted my hours on this game. You know, I've got better games to play. I was going to say I've got better things to do, but I clearly don't have better things to do because I'm sat here making YouTube videos. So I don't have anything better to do. But still, you know, there's lots of other games to play. Hell, I've played that many games so far on my Game Pass, I don't even really know what to play so far. I must be averaging about 30 games a year on complete, if not more. Pretty sad that, isn't it? But yeah, Amnesia Rebirth. Oh, just play it if you want to. But come on. Don't put yourself through this. It's agonising because of how bad it is. And then you're actually walking around waiting for this game to get good, and it just doesn't. It just doesn't get good. It just stays shit. And then things don't even make sense. I had to go on the Wikipedia. I've had to look up stuff online just to find out what the hell is going on. I hate missing a storyline plot, especially when I'm going to invest my time into this game and I don't know what's going on. It's like watching a film and not knowing what the hell's happened. And it's not even one of them games where you've got to play it a few times just to understand. It's not like Fight Club. Fight Club, the film. This is just an analogy. The film Fight Club. You've got to watch it about 3 or 4 times to understand everything, and you want to do that. This isn't even that kind of scenario. You can't. It doesn't matter how many times you complete this game. There's only 3 endings, and nothing makes any sense. So even whatever ending you pick, I think the outcome's still pretty much the same. So it's just a load of rubbish. Why did they release this game? It's maddening. Anyway, Austin 50 out. I've ranted enough about this game, and I'm going to uninstall it to make some space on my hard drive, and then that's it. I'm going to forget about this game, and I'm just going to leave this review here. If no one wants to watch it, I'll rewatch it, just so I know not to play this game again. Okay? Austin 50 out. Thank you all for watching. Bye-bye.